Hello, dear friends. This is KD Ahire, and currently we are studying the Rural Entrepreneurship Development Certificate course, which is offered by the BBA department, KTHM College Nasik, under the scheme of UGC Stride. Dear friends, in our today's session, we are going to learn about various financial schemes or financial assistance provided to the small and micro enterprises. So before going to study about these various schemes, let's just take the overview about what we have learned in our previous session. In our previous session, we have discussed about various government aids and government schemes which are available for the entrepreneurs. In our today's session, here we are going to discuss about various financial assistance provided to the basically small and micro enterprises. But overall, we are going to discuss about the various schemes which are provided to the MSME. The learning objective behind today's session, that is, the learner will make aware about the various MSME schemes which are provided to the various enterprises. So, dear friends, let's discuss about these various schemes. But before going to study about these various schemes, first here we are going to understand uh, what is the definition of micro, small, and medium enterprises, right? So here, according to the rules and regulations, here we are going to see uh, what is meant by actually either our industry or our enterprise comes under the category of micro or small or medium. So initially, if you see the existing MSME clarification, or we can say the classification, right? So the criteria has been given. So it was actually this is the old classification of MSME. So initially, here, if we want to see about the micro level enterprise, so uh, with respect to manufacturing enterprise, so based on the investment, right? So criteria, it was investment in plant and machinery or equipment. So there, in the case of manufacturing enterprise, so if the investment of this particular enterprise is up to 25 lakhs, then uh, it is called as the micro enterprise. But it is with respect to the manufacturing. But when if we are providing the service sector, or services, or if it is a service enterprise, then the investment should be up to 10 lakh, right? In the case of small, so for the manufacturing enterprise, so if investment is more than 25 lakhs but below the 5 lakhs, for the manufacturing enterprises, or for the service enterprises, if investment is more than 10 lakhs but less than 2 crore, then it is called as the small enterprise. But in the case of medium enterprise, right, if investment is more than 5 crore but less than 10 crore, okay, for the manufacturing enterprises, and for the service enterprises, if investment is more than 2 crore but less than 5 crore, then it will comes under the category of medium enterprise. But this is the existing MSME classification. But now, government has revised the MSME classification, right? And as per the current classification of the MSME, the criteria, that is investment and annual turnover, right? So yeah, government had set the to make the classification of these various enterprises into a micro, small, or medium. So here, the criteria, it is the investment as well as annual turnover. So for the both manufacturing as well as service enterprises. So here, if the investment of any particular enterprise is up to 1 crore, right? Up to 1 crore means below 1 crore. And if turnover is less than 5 crore, then it is it is called as the micro enterprise, right? In the case of if investment is more than 1 crore, but it's less than 10 crore, so up to 10 crore, but more than 1 crore, and in between 1 and 10, right? So and of course the turnover, if turnover is more than 5 crore but below 50 crore, then this enterprise is comes under the category of small. And in the case of medium enterprise, if investment is more than 10 crore but it is less than 20 crore, and turnover is about more than 50 crore but less than 100 crore, then it is comes under the category of medium enterprise. So now this is the criteria of the MSME classification. So here first scheme that we are going to see, that is the Prime Minister's Employment Generation Program. So here again, here we are not going to the study or learn schemes in very detail, because again it's not possible to cover all schemes and to study each and every scheme in detail. So therefore here we are going to take the overlook or overview of all these important schemes which are very much helpful for the MSME, right? So very first kind of unique scheme that is provided by the here government, that is the Prime Minister Employment Generation Program. So under this particular scheme, so here this scheme is provided to the maximum project cost, which is about rupee 25 lakhs for manufacturing. If our enterprise is engaged in with the manufacturing any products, right, or any good, then the investment it should be maximum 25 lakhs. And in the case of service sector, right, or if our enterprise is providing any kind of services, then the yeah, the project cost maximum that is 10 lakhs. So obviously here some criteria has been given, right? For example, age criteria for the entrepreneur, that is the minimum 18 years, and what type of assistance to be provided or facility to be provided. So here the government subsidy on projects. So here in the case of rural, right, if our project is in rural area, then 25% subsidy will be provided for the general category entrepreneur, or in the case of reserve category entrepreneur, then the subsidy that is 35%. In the case of our, if our project it is in urban area, right, so in this case the subsidy that is provided, which is about 15% for general category entrepreneurs, and for reserve category that is 25%, right? So here again who will be beneficiary actually in this particular scheme? So the entrepreneurs can apply to take the benefit under the scheme, even institutions, cooperative societies. So these are some beneficiaries uh, which are eligible to take the benefit from this scheme, right? So even entrepreneurship development here program can be run, so training should be provided here under this scheme. So minimum 10 days working day with a project cost of rupees 5 lakhs or more. So such types of benefits are there, right, which are provided under this particular scheme. Our next scheme, that is the Credit Guarantee Fund Trust for Micro and Small Enterprises. So in this particular scheme, so again here categories has already given. So in the case of micro enterprise, so here maximum extent of guarantee where credit facility is given, that is up to 5 lakhs, then above 5 lakhs up to 50 lakhs. So more than 5 but below 50 lakhs, and above 50 lakhs and up to 200 lakhs. So here in the case of micro enterprise, so 35% of the amount is default subject to a maximum of 4.25 lakhs. So in the case of 5 lakhs, so again here 75% of the amount in default subject to a maximum of rupees 37.50 lakhs, and such types of various all types of criteria or all types of guidelines has been already provided under these particular schemes, right? So entrepreneurs has to decide which scheme is suitable for him, and as per the requirement, or as per the if we are fulfilling the all kind of criteria or eligibility criteria which are mentioned in this any particular scheme, so we can go to the apply, and even we can take the benefit from all these various schemes. So even women entrepreneurs, even unit located in the northeast regions, so here a separate category has already mentioned in this particular scheme, and remaining all other category of borrowers. So here, what type of benefit will be provided to all these, you know, we can say it's entrepreneurs, right? So has already mentioned. So next is the features of credit guarantee fund trust for micro and small enterprises. Again, under this same scheme. So here, with continue with this same scheme. So if you see the interest rates as per the business requirements, right? Interest rate will be charged as per the business requirement. The guarantee for credit facilities, so with no collateral security or third party guarantee. So no here any collateral security or third party guarantee is required. Even if you see the eligibility entities who will be eligible, so these are the some enterprises which are eligible to apply under this particular scheme. So again here, 70% of the loan limit not covered by the collateral security, even loans can be availed from. So these are the various financial institutions from where we can apply, and the loan can be provided through these various financial institutions. Next important scheme, that is the interest subsidy eligibility certificate. So here, under this particular scheme, the interest subsidy eligibility certificate scheme is an very important mechanism, we can say mechanism of funding khadi programs which are undertaken by the institutions, khadi institutions basically. So this scheme basically was introduced to mobilize funds from banking institutions for filling the gap between actual funds requirement and availability of fund from the budgetary sources. So here, actually, the basic aim behind this launching this particular scheme, that is actually the fund should be reached to the beneficiaries, or we can say the entrepreneurs. So if demand is there in the society, if entrepreneurs are demanding for the fund, so actually from banking sectors the fund should be reached to the entrepreneurs or beneficiaries. So yeah, therefore this scheme can be helpful. So under this scheme, the credit at concessional rate of interest of 4% per annum for working capital is made available as per the requirement of the institutions, right? So here, in very healthy manner or in a very low interest, the credit should be provided to the institutions which required, if they require any kind of fund, so such fund can be provided to the institutions. The difference between the actual lending rates and 4% is paid by the central government through the. So here, some kind of responsibility of the interest can be taken by the central government in this scheme. So again, this scheme is very much beneficial for the khadi institutions having valid khadi certificate and sanctioned khadi programs, right? So here some eligibility criteria are there, and the eligible institutions, eligible enterprises, right? They can apply under this particular scheme, and they can take the benefit of this scheme. Then next important scheme, that is the JD certificate scheme. So under this JD certificate scheme, so if you see the objective behind this particular scheme, that is the to enable all these MSMEs for manufacturing of quality products, right? So here, again, government is not only promoting the all these MSME to just expand their business and just just sell their products in the market, or just establishing the new enterprises. No, yeah, government is also taking care about the quality of all these products, right? Whatever products are manufacturing by all these enterprises, right? All these entrepreneurs. So here quality should be maintained. So therefore, they under this particular scheme, so here government is trying to motivating the entrepreneurs or various enterprises to just concentrate on the quality of products also, right? So therefore, the if you see the objective behind this particular scheme, that is the to manufacture of quality products by in calculating zero defect, even zero effect practices in manufacturing processes, ensure continuous improvement, thereby supporting the Make in India initiatives. So here, continuous improvement should be there. So therefore, government is pushing all these MSMEs to also consider, also work on the quality of the products, right? So if you see some key benefits of this particular scheme, that is the promote adaptation of quality tools, right, system and energy efficiency manufacturing, right? So here institutions or the entrepreneurs or even enterprises only should not think about just if we are using some cheap raw material, or even manufacturing processes or technologies. So sometime it may also create some kind of defect in the products, right? So therefore, it will also make the negative impact on the quality of product or services. So therefore, here the to promote these various MSMEs to adopt the quality tools or quality system or quality equipments, even we just motivate them to go for the energy efficiency manufacturing processes. So whatever, whenever if they, whenever possible, they should adapt all these systems. So even in this particular scheme, the financial assistance will be provided to the MSMEs in obtaining this ZED certification, right? So again, these are some benefits, right? So like reimbursement of certification fees, consultancy charges on successful certification, right? So here government is trying to motivate the MSMEs to adopt these schemes and implement all these schemes in their enterprises, so they can ultimately these entrepreneurs or enterprises will going to be benefit. But here the quality of products will also be increased, right? So it will ultimately helpful to the that particular MSME as well as overall, if you see the government level also. So such things will be provided under this particular scheme. Next important scheme, that is the scheme for promoting innovation, rural industry and entrepreneurship, right? So this scheme is called as Aspire. So under this particular scheme, if you see the objective behind introducing this particular scheme, that is to set up the network of technology centers and incubation center to accelerate entrepreneurship and promote innovation to further strengthen the competitiveness of the MSME sector. So here ultimately again, under this particular scheme, so to build the networking, right? Networking among these MSMEs, and make them strong or make them aware about to adopt all these new technologies, even through the incubation center, right? Or to incubation cell to strengthen their competitiveness, right? Because here to enter in the global market, or even they sell their products or services into the global market, they have some kind of skills among themselves. They need to develop their competitiveness. Even they have to adopt some kind of new technologies, strategies, whatever changes are happening around us, right? Even what type of policies are changing at national level or international level. So according to all these policies, whatever changes happening in the society or in the market, so according to that they have to adopt the new things, adopt the new technology, or according to that they have to move further. So therefore here, if they wanted to reach to the at higher level, and to provide the quality products or services into the market, so such types of quality should be improved. So here under through this scheme, government is trying to improve or promote all these important qualities among all these MSMEs, and the entrepreneurs will be motivated through this particular scheme, so they can get benefit of these various schemes. So if you see the key benefits of this particular scheme, that is to set up a livelihood business incubators and the technology business incubators. So here these are the incubators where entrepreneurs can take the help. Here the experts are there. Expert will guide the entrepreneurs, or here if entrepreneurs need any kind of assistance, need any kind of help or guidance. So through these various incubation cells, so entrepreneurs easily get all these facilities, and he can expand his business, or even he can reach to the global market also. And even if any entrepreneurs have any idea in his mind, so he can share his idea in this incubation cell or incubators. So here, with the help of expert, so this idea will make in reality. So such types of many facilities are there which are provided through these livelihood business incubators as well as technology business incubators. So under this scheme, maximum 1 crore to government agencies and maximum 50 lakhs to the private agencies procuring plants and machineries. So to set these incubation incubator centers, so the financial assistance will be provided to the government agencies as well as private agencies, and with the help of this financial assistance they can set the incubation cell or incubation center in their premises, and they can start this incubation centers, and they can provide the expertise or guidance to the entrepreneurs in the MSME sector. So again, maximum 1 crore given to the new technology business incubators, and maximum rupees 30 lakh to existing the technology business incubators for procurement of plants and machineries. So such types of very good facilities or financial assistance to the provided to these various uh, government as well as private agencies. Next important scheme, that is the credit linked capital subsidy for technology upgradation. Nowadays, dear friends, we know that the technology upgradation is very essential. Now we know we have developed so many technologies, and uh, in the market, in the society, we have to adopt all these new technology. If any new technology is entering in the market, so we have to just study the particular technology, and if the technology is very much useful for our business or our enterprise, or if we think yes, this particular technology is having a very tremendous positive impact on my business, right? So we should always try to adopt all these technologies. So even in the manufacturing process also, service sector also, even all types of sectors, so here we have developed so many technologies. So upgradation of technology is essential, right? As per the requirement, as per the need, all these technology should be upgraded, so we can easily compete in this competition era, and we can provide our whatever our products or services at with quality. So if you see the objective behind this particular scheme, that is to facilitate technology upgradation in here MSCs with state of art of technologies with or without expansion, and also for new micro small enterprises which have set up their facilities by providing an upfront capital subsidy of 15 years, sorry, 15%, right? So such types of financial assistance to be provided to the these micro small enterprises. So here they can by taking the financial assistance, they can upgrade their technologies, because again, if any enterprise also they have interest to adopt new technology, purchase new technology, but sometime they may not have the their financial condition that is yeah, up to the mark, so they can buy the new technology, or they can adopt the new technology, or they can install this machinery in their plant. So in this case, so through these various schemes, so these entrepreneurs will get the help, financial help from the government, and the entrepreneurs can install or buy the new technology, and he can upgrade the technology in his enterprise. So with respect to the key benefits, so here induction of established and improved technologies. So that is one of the very key benefit under this particular scheme. So this particular scheme is only and only provided for the upgradation of the technologies only. So here, as per the requirements, as per the need of your business, right, need of your enterprise, here we can go for the technology upgradation, and we can try to adopt new things, new technology in our business. So here we can able to fulfill the demand of our products or our services, and even most important thing is that we improve the quality, as well as we can also here increase the quantity of our product. So 15% subsidy on institutions credit up to 1 crore with a subsidy cap of rupees 15 lakh. So these are some key benefits of this particular scheme. Next scheme, that is the lean manufacturing competitiveness for MSMEs. So here under this particular scheme, if we look towards the objective of this scheme, that is to enhance the manufacturing competitiveness of MSMEs through the application of various lean manufacturing techniques, right? So by applying these various lean manufacturing techniques, such as reducing the waste, increasing the productivity, introducing innovative practices for improving overall competitiveness, then inculcating good management system, and imbibing a culture of continuous improvement. So these are some key objectives behind this particular scheme. So overall, if you see, by applying these lean manufacturing techniques, but here ultimately also uh, we have to think. So by applying these lean manufacturing techniques, ultimately we are going to reduce the waste, right, even increasing the productivity. So productivity, that is also need to be considered. Also along with productivity, quality of the production, that is also need to be considered. Even innovative practices can be applied, uh, which can improve the overall overall competitiveness or overall system of the enterprise. So these are various um, actually component on which the improvement should be necessary, and this particular scheme is providing the help to the entrepreneurs to work on these various sectors, various fields, and uh, the entrepreneurs can grow his enterprise, okay, with the continuous improvement. So with respect to the benefits, so here financial assistance is provided for implementation of lean manufacturing techniques. Primarily, the cost of lean manufacturing consultant 80% by government of India and 20% by the beneficiary. So here, the 80% of the cost of this lean manufacturing consultant or uh, these techniques will be borne by the government of India, and 20% need to be borne by the beneficiary. Then next is the awareness on intellectual property rights. So in our previous session also, we have already discussed about how this intellectual property rights is important, right? Because here, through these intellectual property rights, so here we are going to protect our intellectual property, our patent, our work, our innovative ideas, or whatever we new things we have developed. So to protect our intellectual property, so awareness about this intellectual property right is necessary among these MSMEs. So under this particular scheme, right, that is awareness on intellectual property rights, the awareness will be created among these MSMEs about intellectual property rights, to make measure for protecting their ideas and their business strategies, because in business, so here idea generation, because every entrepreneurs will try to implement something new in the market, and there is a chance to misuse his idea, or somebody can just catch his idea and he can start his business. So therefore, to protect his own idea, because his idea or his business strategies, right, his product, his trademark, these all these things are these are the individual intellectual property of that particular person. So he should have the right on his own intellectual properties. So therefore, he should always first try to protect all his intellectual property through the various we can say, various things are there, various as per rules and regulations, we can protect our property rights through various here systems. We can say these are a system, or like for example, a patent, right? We can fill the patent. Even we can also register our trademark, right? We can also protect our design. So so many things are there through which we can protect our intellectual property. So but the awareness about all these intellectual property rights should be created among the entrepreneurs, right? So therefore, through this scheme, the government will try to motivate and try to aware the MSMEs to protect their intellectual property rights. So if you see the key benefits about this particular scheme, that is the reimbursement of patent trademarks, like Indian patent up to 1 lakh, foreign patent up to 5 lakhs, even in case of trademark, so up to point 10 lakhs, and here GI registration is up to 2 lakhs. So even assistance for setting up intellectual property facilitation center up to rupees 1 crore for period of 5 years. So again here, if any agency would like to set a intellectual property facilitation center, so up to 1 crore financial assistance will be provided, up to 1 crore for period of 5 years. So again, such types of financial help will be provided under this particular scheme. So here we have gone through some important schemes of MSME. So in this session, we have studied about the various scheme briefly, actually here we have not studied all this scheme in very detail, but briefly we have gone through various MSME scheme which are very much helpful to the MSMEs and entrepreneurs as per the requirements, as per the need. If any particular enterprise is fulfilling the criteria of any scheme, so the financial assistant will very easily any particular this particular enterprise will get the financial assistance through these various schemes. So in our next lecture, again we are going to see some remaining important MSME schemes which are providing financial assistance to the MSMEs. Thank you.